Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. So in this video we are going to take a look at how the new Easy Aid Extreme Transforming Frieza performs in the Gods of Destruction event. Now we are running him under double Resurrected Warriors Vegeta leads, and he is a Resurrected Warriors unit. We don't necessarily have a fantastic pairing partner for him. He's going to be linked with the Golden Warrior Frieza, but unfortunately they do not share big bad bosses, so that's a little bit of a negative, or a bit of a downside to their linking. That being said, the team should be high enough to allow Frieza to get a couple turns in. Obviously, in terms of Frieza, you know, I think he'll perform alright. He definitely would need, well, for me at least, I think he'll perform a lot better if he has big bad bosses activated. It is just going to be one of those things. But overall, the team looks some way decent. Do I think this team could do this actual stage? Possibly. You would need a big crit from Broly. You would need, 2 or 3 big crit attacks from Broly, probably to get the damage done, and you would need Frieza to, bring his A game. But beyond that, I think, there's definitely a chance of seeing how well these units could do. But we'll get a good idea in terms of this fight against Belmont. Obviously, we have good old Caulifla here to do some evasion. And we are going to be able to get the super attack with Frieza. It's important to get the super attack with Frieza, because if you do, obviously he stacks his defense, which is really going to help. Frieza's healing also really comes in handy during this fight. It allows you to heal up quite substantially, and a solid attack stat to start with, 2.3 million. So really good, plus he can continue to lower the defense of Belmont. As you can see, tanked relatively well. Obviously has an item active, so tanked double digits, but still a fairly good performance there. Overall, I definitely think he did quite well. So you can see that with an item active, Frieza is tanking perfectly fine. After a couple turns, his defense will have stacked to the point where he'll be able to tank more than fine, and the healing will work. It's just whether the other units can get there in terms of their performance. Obviously, you just need to be aware that with units like Piccolo, we are only going to get Piccolo's transformation in like the 7th turn, if we even get there. So the team in itself is okay. I definitely think you could build a better team. I think Frieza is definitely a super solid option for any team that you wish to build. As long as Frieza fits under that leader skill, he probably will be more than fine. It's very difficult in terms of alternative options. You could use something like the Janemba, who's an extreme class, 130% lead, alongside being a corrupted body and mind lead. Janemba is pretty rock solid in this event, and Frieza under 130% lead might take a tiny bit of damage in the beginning, but after he's stacked to a certain point, he should be okay. Especially if you get the orb buff from good old Janemba. So it's a little bit difficult to say really how good Frieza could be. But that being said, I definitely think Frieza is now definitely a super solid option. The addition of his Easy A, the ability for him to stack defense, really solid. The ability, just his healing is really good. Super helpful to be gaining back, 11 to 15% health each turn, especially if you can avoid taking super attacks and things like that, or take super attacks on your tankier units, and it keeps things just moving along. So it's really impressive. Unfortunately, as you can see with this current team build, we are having a slight problem in terms of just key. Like, we're just having key problems, just not getting the super attacks we want. And that's just really because if the units aren't in the correct rotations, they just take a lot of damage. And they don't get their key, and then that's just really not good from them. But Frieza did really well there. Big damage from him, took an entire bar on his own. Tanked really well as well, 117,000 there. And his defense just continues to go up. He'll heal us back up next turn. So overall, quite a rock solid debut from Frieza. So if you have Frieza, if you've been wondering, hey, can I take on this event? I have this team that I want to run him in. Frieza's not going to be the weak link for you. Probably the rest of the team is. I mean, this is a 3-dupe Broly, and he is just not going to be able to hold out for a very long time at all. He takes so much damage. You're relying entirely on him during this turn, getting 3 super attacks and every single one critting, basically, is what you're relying on. So yeah, it's one of those things for a team like this. You're relying on all the units outputting perfect damage, essentially, which is fine. It does happen. It is just one of those things that you just need to be aware of when you're going in. What am I running? Who am I running? What are my expectations? As you can see, really good damage there from Broly. If you had got that 6 mil as a crit, we would have been sitting not pretty. I mean, we would have died from this anyway, but definitely would have been a lot closer. So it's things like that with these Gods of Destruction events. If you don't have the correct units, it is a little bit of RNG simulator. We'll try again. We'll run Frieza once more. I think we can still see a little bit more from Frieza. And yeah, we'll just get a good idea of how well Frieza does. So we're going to take another look at him. Same team, same event, nothing too crazy. Hopefully just some better rotations, better luck, a little bit of that, just to get a better glimpse at Frieza, basically, is the aim here. So yeah, right off the bat, slightly better start. Obviously getting enough orbs for everybody, pretty much, which is good. Frieza's at 99,000, so that's some way decent. I'm trying to see if we can take the turn actually here, but deciding against it. Basically we're just going to go for activating the item. We've got Caulifla doing the dodge here, so that's the standard practice. It actually somewhat decent. We probably could have taken the turn now that she managed to dodge the attack, so yeah, probably could have taken the turn, but that's okay, not the end of the world. Vegeta with a good attack stat, no crit though, so you can see like a 3 mil attack stat's half a bar. Like without a crit, a 3 mil attack stat's half a bar. So you can bring these huge units in here and they can do 3 mil attack stats and literally do almost nothing. Like that's just how crazy the strength of the defense of these Battle of the Gods units is. But 1.5 bars, pretty good start, to be honest with you. Really much better start than last time. Obviously a little bit unfortunate not to get 5 orbs with the Piccolo here. If we got 5 orbs with him, probably would have really had a great start. 2.7 million from this Vegeta, who hopefully crits, because crits are key. You can see there, no crit, so again, only really half a bar. Broly with a solid 3.8 million attack stat, but no crit. So, like 2/3 of a bar because we're lowering defense, but still, you can really see the necessary need for crits in this event. So if you are going to build units or bring units in here, try and focus on bringing units that have crit. That's going to be your best bet. We realistically should have kept Frieza on the rotation to link with this Frieza, so it is just something we probably should have done, but yeah, definitely something that we need to be aware of. But yeah, obviously a bit of a better start here. Frieza got to do a good attack stat in that 3rd slot. He's going to be back up on next turn. We're going to have an item to activate there, so you can see how RNG can really affect things. Have we got another crit or 2 or more, we actually would have only used 1 item and taken 3 bars off of Belmont with the transformation of Broly still to come. So it's one of those things whereby it just depends realistically on a bit of RNG, your gear maybe, how many crits you're getting, and all of a sudden the event can go from being really hard to looking possible, and it's really just one of those things. So to each their own, but mainly obviously we're just here to see how Frieza does. So as you can see, we're struggling a little bit for orbs. This is obviously not ideal to struggle for orbs at this point. I'm going to put Frieza in the 1st slot, just so that we can see how he tanks. Obviously we're not going to be able to get the super attack, which is a bit of a bummer, but he has higher defense, so we're just going to let him kind of tank for us a little bit, and then we're going to have Broly sitting here in the slot. I also kept Frieza so that we can get the heal when he comes back onto rotation. Obviously super important for that as well. So just one of those things, but Frieza's defense looking decent enough. Obviously these guys hit very hard. If they hit you before you can fire a super attack or stack or anything like that, if you don't have damage reduction, you are just going to take a lot of damage. Broly's going to fire off his attack, which crits, so you can see the big chonking damage that Broly does, which is one of the strategies here, really, realistically. And you can see all of a sudden the boss is really down on health, which is, you know, super helpful, of course. So it is just one of those things, you know, like I said, couple more crits, maybe better orbs for Frieza, and all of a sudden he's got 2 or 3 bars left of health, and we still have next turn to come with Caulifla and another turn. So yeah, it's you know, one of those things where the boss can go from being impossible to being very possible, all in the space of a single turn. So yeah, really not much we can do there. We are going to be able to heal up a little bit here. Lots of lovely tasty green orbs that we're going to be able to heal off of, and then we are going to have the golden Frieza in the back end slot. He's going to still have the item active, so we should be fine for this turn. We get unlucky, we are going to lose this unfortunately, but I think Frieza's done really well. Again, TEQ Frieza showing that he's been brought up to speed. He's really able to take on this event. If we'd got an extra super attack with him, maybe if we'd got an extra super attack here or there, we would be looking a lot prettier. At this point, we'd maybe have him down to his final 1 or 2 bars. We'd have a little bit more health, you know, things like that. So realistically, a good attempt. We're going to get the heal back off of Frieza here. And yeah, I think we die here. I'm pretty certain we die here. Frieza's defense probably just under where we need it to be. Nice big heal coming off of Frieza, getting the additional orbs for Vegeta, and of course getting Broly to super attack. In theory, if Belmont hadn't super attacked here, we might have been able to hold out and take on the stage, but to each their own. But that's going to be it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think Frieza did really well, and yeah, let me know in the comments down below how you're finding him. But as always, until the next video, cheers and bye.